Textile fibers, the manufactured and synthetic fibers. Because the natural fibers are not perfect in terms of performance, availability, or cost, the manufacture of an ideal fiber had long been a dream. In fact, as far back as 1664, a gentleman named Robert Hooke thought that a silk-like fiber could be made if the right liquid were forced through a small hole and congealed. But it wasn't until nearly 1889, at the Paris exhibition, that Count Hilaire de Chardin showed the first manufactured fiber based on cellulose. The first manufactured fibers were rayon in 1910 and acetate in 1924, made low-cost silky fabrics available to consumers. And in 1939, the first synthetic fiber, nylon, was made. And since that time, many generic fibers with numerous modifications have appeared. Let's explore a few of them. Well, the manufactured and synthetic fibers are made from chemical compounds produced in manufacturing facilities. Manufactured fibers completely affect today's lifestyles. Manufactured fibers are engineered for very specific end uses. Manufactured fibers provide performance options not possible with natural fibers. And manufactured fibers are considered very versatile. They are quick to produce and can be engineered for performance needs. They can also be produced at any time during the year, which is a limiting thing for natural fibers. The manufactured fibers can be grouped into two major categories. First one are our synthetic fibers. These would include nylon, polyester, acrylic, spandex, olefin, and aramid, just to name a few. And regenerated fibers are rayon, acetate, lyocell, Aslon, and PLA, just to name a few. So what are the synthetic fibers? These come from chemical substances. They're actually less absorbent than your natural fibers. They are heat sensitive. When using an iron, you must press with a low temperature setting. Synthetic fabrics tend to pill or ball up on the surface when abrased. A regenerated fiber comes from naturally occurring chemicals, but they do not occur naturally as fibers. Starting materials for these fibers are either cellulosic or protein base. They are less absorbent than the natural fibers, but more absorbent than a synthetic. These kinds of fibers require extra attention when caring for or cleaning. Now to explore some of our fibers. Rayon. This one is a regenerated fiber. It is the first man-made fiber. It was discovered in 1846 by Frederick Schonbein, who dissolved cellulose in a solvent, but that was very explosive. During the 1890s, it was experimented with to be safer, and not until about 1910 or 11 that it was sold commercially as artificial silk. In 1919, a gentleman named J.P. Bemberg developed a highly successful commercial type of rayon called Bemberg rayon, and this is still used today. It actually is a wonderful, thin, lightweight, somewhat absorbent kind of fabric. I use it for linings in dresses and suit jackets. Fiber characteristics of rayon is that it is the first man-made fiber. It is made from the cellulosic matter. It's not a very strong fiber. It can be made, though, to resemble cotton, linen, or silk. It all depends on how long you cut the fibers for it to mimic a certain kind of natural fiber. When caring for rayon, you can machine wash it on gentle, but hand washing or dry cleaning yields the longest life for any rayon fabric. Rayon will wrinkle easily, and you can use a medium heat setting when pressing. Nylon. This is a synthetic fiber. Nylon is made of any long chain synthetic polyamide. Chemical compounds of nylon are carbon, oxygen, nitrogen, and hydrogen. Nylon was the first synthetic fiber developed in the U.S. in 1928 by Dr. Wallace H. Carruthers, but it became commercially available in 1939. Originally, it was used primarily in women's hosiery. Nylon's characteristics are that it is the strongest synthetic fiber, it is very lightweight, it is used in sportswear and outerwear. But once compromised in the fabric, it tears easily. Look for a ripstop feature. And when caring for nylon, you can wash it in cold temperatures and low heat dry settings. Use low heat settings with an iron to prevent melting. And keep it clean for its best performance. Polyester is another synthetic fiber. Polyester is a long-chain synthetic ester. It was first developed and produced in England with the name tyrylene. DuPont introduced it to the U.S. market in 1951. Polyester is the most widely used synthetic fiber. Its characteristics are that it is the most widely used synthetic fiber. It can be made in lightweight to heavyweight fabrics, but it tends to pill or ball on the surface when abrased. Polyester can be washed in cold temperatures with low heat dry settings. Use low heat with an iron when pressing to prevent melting. Polyester is resistant to wrinkling, but it will retain oily stains. Acrylic is another synthetic fiber. Acrylic is a manufactured fiber composed of acrylonitrile. Major components are coal, oxygen, water, oil, and limestone, and it originated in Germany around 1893. It was made to mimic wool, but it can also mimic characteristics of cotton. It's very soft, warm, and lightweight. It is quick to dry, resistant to wrinkling, sunlight, chemicals, moths, mildew, and shrinking. And it can be heat set into permanent pleats and creases. Acrylic can be machine washed, but delicate garments should be hand washed. Machine wash in warm water with a mild detergent and dry at a low temperature. Acrylic, like polyester, tends to pill or ball on the surface. Acetate. Acetate is a manufactured fiber of cellulose acetate, a modification of cellulose. Originating in Europe as an airplane varnish in World War I, but then was developed as a fiber in 1918. In 1924, acetate became the second manufactured fiber in the U.S. after rayon. In its early life, there were major problems with its ability to be dyed. It could change colors once it was dyed one color, and if it was exposed to too much oxygen or certain oils from our skins, it could change color. Characteristics of acetate is that it's not a very strong fiber. It was created to be a silk look-alike. We see it used mostly today in formal wear or as linings. Acetate usually must always be dry cleaned. Make sure you check the care label. It will dissolve completely in acetone. Acetone is found in fingernail polish remover. Use a medium to low heat setting when pressing. Spandex. As a premier synthetic stretch fabric, Lycra is the trade name for DuPont's version of the long-chain polymeric fiber known as spandex by its generic term. Invented at DuPont by American scientist Joseph C. Shivers in 1959, spandex sprang on the market as a replacement for rubber in women's foundation garments. Spandex is commonly used in activewear, swimwear, and other stretchable garments today. It is strong, it's durable, it's lightweight, and very elastic. It is easily damaged by heat and hot irons, though. It is resistant to abrasion, perspiration, body oils, and sunlight. But you will never find spandex as 100% content in a garment. Spandex is always blended with other fibers. It can be washed or dry cleaned depending on the other fibers that it might be blended with. Pre-treat stains with a detergent paste. Machine wash in warm water, then tumble dry on low. Hand wash any fragile garments, then line dry. And use low heat setting when pressing. Now, for a learning activity, if you have put together your swatch kit, the green binder that came with your kit, identify the fiber contents for your fabric swatches for number 7, number 9, 37, and 119. Use the key from your swatch kit. And also identify the end use for each of these fabrics. If you have not done so in laying out your swatch kit, go ahead and scroll down to the bottom of the page for week 1 on My Course Connection and check out the video on how to assemble that. After you have identified these things, go ahead and flip back to page 80 in your textbook and consult Table 4.1 to verify your manufactured fibers. See which one it is, a synthetic or a regenerated one. Identify appropriate fiber modifications for each manufactured fiber and end use, and explain how performance would be enhanced. The end.